Welcome to the Unstoppable Profit Podcast. Wherever you are today, if you're starting with nothing or are well on your way to the success you desire, with the right people, processes, and promotions in place, you will be unstoppable. And now, I'd like to introduce your host, Mike Stromsoe.
Greetings, this is Mike Stromsoe bringing you another episode of the Unstoppable Profit Podcast. I am pumped and I am excited today to have a newer friend of mine. We connected in the production of his new book, and we're going to dig in and find out today the results of that. He's got some phenomenal information about our industry, how it's growing, how it's changing. And as you know, there's three things certain in life: death, taxes, and change. And if we want things to change, we need to change. Avdhesh Saxena, welcome to the podcast.
Thanks, Mike, for having me. It's an honor to be on your podcast.
No, hey, it's an honor to have you here. Thank you so much for sharing today. And to give everybody who might be watching and or listening a little bit of background on yourself, you've got a deep history in our industry, one of those silent but deadly weapons that we all count on so much. Thank you for all the work that you've done over the years. But tell everybody a little bit about yourself, what you've done in the industry. If you want to share a little bit about yourself personally, where you live, your family, go ahead, please.
Sure, thank you. So this is Avdhesh here. So I completed my MBA from one of the top business school in India, and after that I joined a kind of IT consulting firm, and initially I focused on insurance domain. And for past 15 plus years, I have been working with multiple large insurance carriers and helping them in solving their business problem using technology-based solution. Currently, I live in Connecticut with my wife and two boys. So last 2-3 years back, what happened? I saw a Facebook post which talked about idea generation workshop, which was happening in InsurTech Hartford. So I thought, why not? Let's see what's happening there. I'm from insurance and technology. And there I got to meet some, good people. And we talked about chatbot and how it can be used in insurance. We kind of narrowed down that maybe it's a good idea for insurance agents to use chatbot. As you might have seen Lemonade and a lot of other carriers were using it. So, and then they had a hackathon happening over weekend. So I participated in that, and few agents were interested. So they started using chatbot, and that's how I started, interacting with insurance agents. Before that, I was not knowing a single one. And today I know hundreds of them thanks to that coincidence. So, yep, that's how I landed kind of here.
So that's a piece of technology in our industry that you got familiar with really quickly and that you've gained expertise in.
Yeah, somewhat expertise is a little, but yeah, trying to learn about it and help people as we go.
Because it's one of the up and coming technologies as far as efficient, effective communication with today's modern consumer in the 24/7 world, right?
Sure, that's right. And you might have seen, right, like all of us are talking to our friends and family using messaging, and top 4 messaging platforms are bigger than top 4 social media platforms today. So that's how people are expecting to communicate. So if you want your customers to treat you like a friend or family, you have to enable that messaging, and that to 24/7. So,
right.
Yeah.
Exactly. And we find that now in the underwriting space as well, in our Living Agency Laboratory, which is our own agency that I get to operate and lead. Very privileged chair to be in that. But the underwriters, they got their chat platforms as well that they're using to communicate with agents versus the other forms of communication. So that's absolutely accurate. It's just becoming huge.
Sure. No, that's true.
I completely agree with you. Well, thank you for all of your work there to move towards a more effective and efficient platform to operate within. So let's go back just a little bit. How'd you get in insurance in the first place anyway?
Sure. So I touched a little bit, earlier that, after my business school, I got an opportunity to work with an IT consulting firm, and that we focus on insurance. So I worked in insurance domain across multiple countries. I worked in Japan as well, US, India, and with multiple large insurance carriers. So that's how I got started, and then later in life I got to connect with insurance agents through my website, Friendly Agent. Um, and yep.
Fantastic. So, I mean, you're like me. You weren't planning to get into insurance when you first started in technology, right?
That's right. And that's the same story I've heard with everyone, including you.
Yeah,
Everyone will say, "Hey, I never planned it."
right.
But then I heard there's a lot of money in insurance. So I thought, yeah, why not?
Well, yeah, there's money in insurance and it's
Yeah,
fantastic. But the other thing, and let me know if you find this as well, it challenges me every single day.
that's true.
You
It
know,
is very
no day
challenging.
is the same, and I can't wake up and think that I'm going to be able to forecast and anticipate what's going to happen in a given day because it goes south and north and east and west all day long, right?
Correct. Yep. Insurance is a complex domain,
Yes, it
and
is.
it takes take time to get expertise in this area. In any line of business, it's an ocean.
That's correct. That's correct. But that's part of the reason that I love it so much is that challenge every single day. And if we can meet the challenges and overcome the obstacles in front of us and get to that higher level, that there are rewards there. Absolutely agree. So
Sure.
great perspective. Thank you. So you got into the insurance space. You learned a little bit about it. You were able to help uh, forward some things in the space, chat bots and other things. And then you decided that, hey, this is kind of cool. There's possibly some higher achieving people out there. And so you wanted to document your journey and finding out more with some of these high achieving people, mostly agents, correct?
Agents and thought leaders who are helping agents or who know about the industry, even the insurtech side.
Right. So agents, thought leaders, and other people who have gained some experience in the industry, and you set out on a journey. How long ago did you set out on this journey to begin doing your research to publish this book?
So this book, I'll say close to 1 year or 10 months. I mean, that's how. I mean, it's a very intensive process. But before that, I have been writing my blog for last 2 3 years. So it the research part kind of started from there. But
Okay.
yes, more
Yeah. So you
concentrated.
have the research from the blog, and then you went out and interviewed people and gained other data because of that research and the interviews and so forth and so on. So you've put this all together in a format that anybody can use, right?
Sure. Yep.
Okay. And so you've written a book. And why did you write the book in the first place?
Yep. No, that's a very good question. So I mean, you might have seen in last 5 10 years things have changed. Drastically. Though insurance moves slow, but around us, things have moved fast. And what I observed was, after interacting with a lot of high performing agents, that there is a category of agents, top 2%, 5%, who are doing extremely well. Their agency is growing, and they are living a very lavish lifestyle. And then we are also seeing that in last 5 to 8 years, a lot of insurtech startups have come up, and they have become like $1 billion plus companies in a very short span of time. And on the other end of spectrum, if you look, almost 90 to 95% of population or insurance agency side, they are struggling to grow. And some of them, like 90% of agents, they leave this area in first 2 years itself. So there's a huge amount of population who's struggling. So I thought, why not interview all the successful agency owners like yourself and some thought leaders who are working with insurtechs, and see what's happening. How are they able to do it? And document their journey or best practices, and then share it with everyone, so that whoever is serious and ready to do work can learn from them and grow. So that's why I started writing this book called Friendly Agent.
That is fantastic. And thank you for your work. I can't wait to get a hold of it and learn from it and go through it again and again and share it with other people, more importantly. So When
Thank
is the
you.
book going to be finished and ready for publication, or is it?
So book is almost finished, and it should be launching somewhere in May, mid
Okay.
May to end of May. So yeah.
All right. So if somebody wants to find this book, where can they find it?
Sure. So I've created a URL called friendlyagentbook.com. Um, so you'll be able to find it here. And even if you Google friendly agent, you'll find our website, and you'll reach there as well.
Fantastic. Did you by chance record it via audio as well?
So audio version will be released later. First, I will
Sure.
release the hard copy and all, and then I'll record it and launch it.
Fantastic. Yeah. I only say that selfishly because that's one of the ways that I learn a ton is via audio learning as well. And I always buy the book and I always buy the audio. It's available at the same time. Then I go through the audio and they say, oh, that's a gold nugget. That's a gold nugget. Oh, then I go through the book and then I've got the double learning opportunity, right? Because as you know, when you hear, you learn, but when you hear and see, you understand. And it's always
That's
about
right.
getting to that point of understanding that, can change everything. So it's
Sure.
fantastic stuff. I'm excited. So thank
So
you.
same here. Thank you.
You're welcome. So just to repeat that, and we'll repeat it at the end as well. That's friendlyagentbook.com. Friendlyagentbook.com. And of course, you can just go to friendlyagent.com, correct?
I know it's friendlyagent.net or friendlyagentbot.com. But if you Google friendly agent, our website comes on top. So
Okay,
that's
so
how we.
it's friendlyagent.net.
Yeah.
Okay, and then friendlyagentbook.com.
.com. Yep.
Got it.
Yep.
Fantastic. Yeah, those .coms, .nets.
Yeah.
It's a busy world out there online, right?
Yeah, but luckily, we are very strong in SEO. So for a lot of keywords, you'll find us on top. So if you search best chatbot for insurance agency, we will be first result. And a lot of keywords, we are on top in insurance agency
Yep.
space.
Way to go. That's why you have expertise in the online IT space. Fantastic. So let's talk about some of the people that you invested time interviewing, learning more about, and you're getting ready to publish this book through your data and research. So what are some of the characteristics and traits you observed in the most successful insurance agency owners and other top thought leaders in the space? I mean, what are they
Sure.
like?
Definitely. So some of the things they come out very well. So one thing is all of them they are very good in maintaining relationships and developing networks. So you'll see that agency is running for sometime more than 50 years, and granddad started that agency, and one of their customer was with them for say 40 years, and then when the next generation took the agency, the other side customer's child is also working with an agent. So they have a huge long-term relationship they maintain. Um, so and they keep growing their network, and they will be part of local boards or work in the community. And nowadays they are also using technology to help that. So by using CRM software, and by using referral management software. So all of these things they are bringing into their agency, and maintaining these networks and relationships. So that's a one big thing. Second thing which I observed is they have a growth mindset. You know, you also mentioned that you have three coaches you work with. Most of the agents who are successful, big agencies, they invest in learning and growing, finding what's latest technology or attending conferences. So they have a growth mindset and they have changed. So I talked to some of the agencies 6 years back. They were doing all these newspaper, TV ads, spending $500,000 in that, and now they're not spending even a dollar there. They are into all digital marketing, and using CRM effectively to convert leads which were not converted first time. So a lot of those things they are doing. So that's the second thing, growth mindset. And third thing which I see is that they are very helpful, and they're very what you say, invest in their community. So they will participate with a lot of charities, doing good work, and getting their name out. Even in recently when the pandemic happened, a lot of these agencies, they were helping their community, buying stuff, distributing food, and a lot of good work they have done. So all these things, right, they combine together, these three, um, and it makes you stand out. So these are some major things which I observed.
That's fantastic stuff. I'm going to quickly recap that to make sure I captured everything that you just said, the gold nuggets, if you will.
Sure.
These people are really good at maintaining relationships, and they're using
Yep.
technology nowadays. They've shifted in maintaining those relationships, if you will, meeting people where they are, right?
True.
And how they like to communicate, because it's not about us. It's all about them, meaning the consumer or the people in the community marketplace. Number two, they have a growth mindset. They believe to have more, you have to become more, right?
True.
And we have to continue to grow and learn. And the day we stop learning is the day we stop growing. And the day we stop learning is the day we stop earning.
True.
Yeah, that's fantastic stuff. So, and they invest. It's not an expense, it's an investment in the growth mindset. Benjamin Franklin said years ago, the most important investment you're ever going to make is the one that you make in yourself. So great stuff.
True.
And then lastly, you identified they're giving back to their community, really exercising that goodwill. And that law of reciprocity is always in effect. And the more you give, the more will come back to you, and especially if you don't expect it. And there's a sign on the stairs up to this office that says living is giving. It's that simple, right, Avdhesh?
True.
Yeah.
I totally agree with you. Yep.
Yeah, fantastic. That's great stuff. Anything else come to mind of the characteristics and traits of these successful, high achieving people?
I mean, these three are the major ones. Um, uh, and then, I mean, like, as I told you, like, they're very good in adapting, changing, learning, very approachable. Um, and yeah. And secondly, they try to work on their business, not in their business. So they have that mindset, they treat insurance as a business, not like, something where you have to work 24/7 yourself. They hire right people, empower them, and that's also one key difference.
Yeah, fantastic. So they've got great attitudes, and they have identified the 80-20 rule is always in effect. And they're trying to work on their business 80% of the time, at least, not in it 80%.
True.
Great stuff. Thank you so much. So, based on your learning about high successful people in our industry and the rest, so how can people scale their businesses up? If you've got people that might be listening or watching this and they want to scale their businesses up, what did you learn about that in your research?
Sure, definitely. And so, based on all these research, like, I've categorized it into three steps. So step one is, finding your niche. So when I talk to even these, what you say, insurtech experts and, these thought leaders, you might have seen that in last few years, companies which have become those $1 billion or huge, right? They focused on one particular stuff. So like, Hippo also kind of started as a, brokerage. They focused on home insurance. Health IQ, they focused on life insurance for people who are fit or, who consider themselves. And same way, I'm seeing a lot of big agencies, they are creating separate departments to focus on line of business which they think is going to be bringing growth going forward. So I mean, you might have seen that, Chris Paradis, so he has a separate department focusing on FedEx, courier insurance. So that's how, once if you don't identify a niche, and if you're trying to serve everyone, it's really difficult to grow and scale. So that's the step one, identifying your niche. And if you have not done it, that's okay. I mean, people start with selling everything. You can analyze your data. So, we have, discussed certain things which were suggested by some data experts and all, what can be done. finding which line of business is bringing more revenue, what expertise you have. You can do a lot of keyword analysis, and then also listening to market, what's happening today. So, last year when pandemic happened, everyone was buying RVs. So maybe, RV insurance is a thing which you can focus on, and people are ordering everything online and delivery. So maybe, ensuring those delivery related folks. So there are a lot of niches coming up. So, just hone in one of them. And so that's step one. That's very important. Step two is building foundation. So when we talk about building foundation, there are multiple components which we have discussed. So one, definitely branding. So you have to brand according to that niche. Everything from your website to whatever, it should communicate that message. So when they come, they know that yes, you specialize in this thing. Uh, then bringing right people. If you are becoming that who someone who's specializing in, say you're saying you specialize in RV insurance, then people who are expert in that, and then hiring those kind of people, building your agency like that. Then focusing on systems and processes. I mean, you have also talked about it. Once people come in, how do you, yes, your 3 Ps, how do you go about implementing it in a process? Because what may happen is, if you don't have a right process, things may fall off crack. Once customers come to you, what is the process? How are you getting back to them? How many times you get back, and a lot of other stuff. Collecting reviews. How are you collecting? And then technology as well, because once you scale up, your staff and manpower can grow to an extent. You need to have technology to enable all of this. So if suddenly your custom inbound leads increases by 10 or 100 times, the technology should be able to handle it. So things like chatbot or automation or CRM, which is doing a lot of follow-ups on your behalf. So the second step, this is mainly foundation. And once you have these things in place, then step three is, kind of putting fuel to fire, if I may use that term, going in the marketing side, identifying which marketing strategy will work best for you. First, testing it for sure. And then when you have tested it, it works, then scaling it up. So when you combine all these three together, that's how you scale up. And you can look at example of insurtechs, or even a big agency. That's what they're doing. So big insurtechs who have this $1 billion valuation, they are getting millions of visitors to their website, converting 250,000 to customer. So that's how they're scaling, by having all of these things properly aligned. So
Wow, that's fantastic. So when we're talking about scaling, for anybody who's considering that or even thinking about it, the top 3 things to consider are, first, finding your niche or your niche, if you will. You got to be clear, because less is more, right?
True.
I mean, keep it simple. It's less to, deal with anyway, if you will. Okay. Including, people that have large agencies, they might have separate departments for those niches to operate within. That way they're firing on all cylinders, one might say. Secondly, once you find your niche, is building the proper foundation. That includes brand, having the right people, if you will, and the right seats, right?
Right.
Yeah, understanding what they're doing with proper systems and processes out there, and all of that. So interesting. You're talking about the people and the processes. I think that's a great idea. And then the third thing is adding fuel to the fire, which is talking about marketing strategy or promotions. Aha, that's fantastic.
True.
And, not every marketplace is the same, right, Avdhesh? I thought we had a slight freeze there. So let me go ahead and rephrase that. Not every
Yes.
marketplace
True.
out there is the same, correct?
True.
Yeah.
That's
So people need to do their marketplace research, if you will, understand who their client avatar is and everything about the marketplace or the conversation that's going on in their mind already to reach them.
right. That's true.
Yeah. Fantastic. So people out there in the industry and beyond sometimes have opinions. Have you found that to be accurate?
It depends what kind of opinion they have.
It was kind of a leading question and a bit of a bad joke, I guess, if you will. So they do have opinions out there and they've always got something to say. And there's a lot of people out there that say that agents won't be able to survive the next few years. What do you think about that based on what you've learned?
Sure. So see, one thing everyone should remember is that insurance is a $1 trillion industry, and almost 90% of insurance is still sold by insurance agents. Even things which have kind of become commoditized, proper like auto insurance, still like more than 75% is sold by agents there. So that's one thing. Second thing, if you look, uh, insurance agents are bringing a lot of value, and I think they should start talking about it. First is that I mean, they are providing free of cost service to you initially. They are not charging you anything. I mean, so and secondly, they are bringing a lot of expertise. If you were not having an insurance agent, you may end up being not covered properly. And if you look, a lot of people who are rich, they have a dedicated insurance agent or broker they work with to make sure their property and assets and everything is covered. Otherwise, anything may happen, and you'll go bankrupt. And then finally, it's also about not only saving money, convenience. uh, you may, again, if you're working with an independent agent or something, like, you don't have to work with 40-50 companies. They will do it for you. And so a lot of value agents are bringing to the table. And then if you look, compare with other industries, like say CPAs or tax, people who do your taxes, there are a lot of softwares available for more than 10 years, but still people use CPAs. And at least I use CPA, because to make sure I save time, and they are doing the right thing, I don't have to worry about it. And it's just uh, so same way, right? So insurance agents, because of this, and insurance is a very complex product, it's difficult for anybody to understand everything themselves and make right decisions. And technology, it can do it automatically for few initial I mean, easier use cases. So to answer your question, right, so insurance agents are not going anywhere as long as they adapt to today's world. They cannot be working in the old world where people are not able to connect with you digitally. They have to come to your agency. That's not going to happen. You have to work with your customers whatever they prefer, whether it's messaging or having digital ways to communicate using an app or things like that. And make sure you're communicating to them what value you're bringing. It's not only saving costs, there is a lot behind it. uh, and when you see those ads, right, where everyone is saying that I switched to this insurance and I saved this much money, they don't say that how much coverage was reduced or how many
Right.
things,
Yeah.
so that's like a big scam. You may be paying $100, for example, for $100,000 policy, and you may save $10, but your policy may become $25,000. So you are getting scammed there. You're not saving money. So yep, I think insurance agents are going to be there for a long time.
So Avdesh, say it's not true. So when people are saving 15% in 15 minutes, they're getting 15% less coverage?
It may be 60% less coverage. You don't know.
I 100% agree with that. We have found that to be accurate. I mean, because fortunately or unfortunately, however you want to look at it, especially in the personal insurance realm, insurance has become more of a commodity.
Mhm.
But one of the stories that breaks my heart, just breaks my heart, in working with other agents around the country, there was a lady, fairly wealthy, bought a brand new car, went online to get a quote. It was so cheap. She said, I'm going to switch. And she switched from her agent
Mhm.
of many years. The car was totaled a short time after. And they said, you're not covered. And she had a good enough relationship with that agent, went back to the agent and said, they're telling me it's not covered. Can you see something I can't? And the agent said, you didn't buy collision.
Oh.
Whoops.
Mm.
Yeah, the people at the end of the 800 numbers or wherever they're at, sometimes it doesn't matter to them as long as they get the deal, right?
True.
Yeah. So, Avdhesh, fantastic stuff. Thank you so much for sharing. I can't wait to get my hands on the book and share it with other people that I know out there in the industry so that we can continue to learn more because, I've learned in my own journey, success leaves clues.
Sure.
You put together the book of clues among many other things from some of the most successful people out there in our industry, thought leaders in our industry. So thank you for that. And
Thank
includes
you.
a lot of tech tips, right? And thoughts about tech and how tech's going to continue to change our industry.
That's true.
Yeah.
There's a section on technology, and even examples of how agents are using it, in their own business. Like we talked about, whether it's a CRM or a chatbots, and even other basic stuff, right? Like e-signature and e-payments, they are so basic that people who are not having this during the pandemic, they suffered a lot because you cannot have a transaction without a signature or a payment, and if you're doing it all manually on paper or checks or cash, and there are a lot of those technology stuff, uh, agency management system, how to best leverage it, and other stuff as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
AI.
Yeah. There's lots of options out there, but you don't want to be a jack of all trades and master of none, right? Less is
So
more. The one thing.
that's right.
Yeah, fantastic. So, hey, as we begin to wrap up today, I guess my question is at this point, is there anything that we missed that you learned that may be significant or big that you want to share today in putting all the research and data together for your new book?
um I think we covered most of it, but
Okay.
the thing is, things are evolving so fast in today's world, whether it's marketing strategy or whatever, right? Something which is working today may not work 6 months or 1 year down the line. Like Google was so easy to crack 10 years back. Now it's difficult. 5 years, 6 years back, Facebook was easy. 2 years back, Instagram was easy. Now Clubhouse is easy right now, and Instagram Live is easy, but it may not be same. So I mean, one has to adapt and learn and pivot. Otherwise, you never know. Like there are a lot of big companies we have heard of. They are no longer uh, here because they didn't change with the time. I think that's the key. And as long as all of us are doing it, there's no need to worry.
Yeah, I think that's it. I mean, we have to adapt and we have to change as fast as we can. Would you agree?
Sure, no, definitely.
Yeah, fantastic. And because if Will Rogers said, if you just sit there, you get run over. So you
That's right.
cannot just sit there. You've got to continue to learn, adapt, change, and ultimately, we got to keep being even more uncomfortable, right?
Right. I mean, biggest risk is not taking any risk.
I love that. Let me write that down. That's awesome. I haven't heard it put like that before. Not taking any risk
Yep.
is the biggest risk.
Right. Whether it's like, your investment or whatever, right, in your life, if you don't invest your money is going down because of inflation. And same thing anywhere, whether it's business or.
That is a gold nugget. I'm going to repeat that one again because in my journey so far, I haven't heard it put like that. Not taking any risk is the biggest risk.
That's
Avdhesh,
true.
that's gold, man. Thank you so much.
Good. Thanks, Mike, for your time. And it's honor to be with you. I mean, you're one of the, top thought leaders, and it's great to know you and learn from you. Yep.
Well, I can't wait till the day comes when we can actually shake hands, break bread, and all of that. And it may come sooner rather than later. You never know. So looking forward to
Sure.
that as we move away from these obstacles that have been in our road for, the last year or so. So we got this, right?
Definitely.
Yeah, fantastic. So I'm going to remind everybody, and if you need to correct me at all, Avdhesh, please do. Okay.
Sure.
Um, friendlyagent.net.
Yep.
Friendlyagent.net is where you can find Avdhesh and everything that he's building and working on, including his blog, which has 2 or 3 years of content minimum that people can go and learn from. And then friendlyagentbook.com is where the book's going to be housed to begin with. when it's launched roughly in May. Okay. So
Yep.
super excited about that. Super excited to learn more and to be able to share it with other people. So we are excited about that. And good luck. I know it's snowing back there. We talked about that before we went on. It too will pass, and the better weather will be coming soon. So
Sure. Thank you.
You have something to look forward to there, right?
That's true.
Yeah, fantastic. So everybody, I'm excited and pumped to share this message with everybody that Avdhesh has worked so hard on. It's been a labor of love in his journey so far, bringing it to everybody out there. And he's put it in a format that can be shared and learned from on a much quicker matter, because money and success love speed, and money and success never sleep. Right, my friend?
That's true.
That's right. So that's fantastic stuff. Well, thank you everybody for joining the podcast, and please make sure that you go to unstoppableprofitpodcast.com. That's unstoppableprofitpodcast.com, and subscribe if you haven't already, because these game-changing interviews with top people in our industry and sometimes outside of our industry are coming, and they're coming fast. So you don't want to miss one episode. Go to unstoppableprofitpodcast.com and subscribe. And we're out there on all the channels, Google, Spotify, and the rest. Make sure you subscribe there. Unstoppable Profit Podcast is the search terms there. In addition to that, you can watch this visually now. Just go to YouTube and search Unstoppable Profit Producer, and you'll find all the visual podcasts. Because remember, when we hear, we learn. When we hear and see, we understand. We want to bring it to understanding, right, Avdhesh?
That's true.
Yeah, fantastic.
Awesome.
So speaking of that, if anybody out there is interested in learning virtually everything surrounding the 3 Ps, uppfaststart.com. That's uppfaststart.com. We have virtual classrooms going on almost every month. Go check it out. We can't wait to help you, teach you, so you can learn more and become more, as Avdhesh talked about. And if you're interested in a live event, beunstoppablebootcamp.com. That's beunstoppablebootcamp.com. I want to share with you some of our best money-making strategies and bring some of the best and smartest people in our industry like Avdhesh to the table. We want to share with you these strategies proven over 35 years of research in our industry, so you can grow your business, create wealth, and have more freedom to live life on your own terms. Avdhesh Saxena, thank you so much, sir, for being on the podcast today. Best to you and your family and your continued journey in helping people in our industry.
Thanks, Mike, for having me. Yeah, it was an honor and nice meeting you. And best wishes to you.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's grateful to be seen, and hopefully we'll continue to see each other for many years to come.
Definitely.
All right, my friend.
Okay.
Thank you so much. All right, everybody, get out there and make a difference, be unstoppable, and leave no regrets. And remember, 2 things: a decision and action. A decision and action will lead to you becoming more uncomfortable and growing. And I'm going to drop this one again. I'm just blown away by your nugget. Not taking any risk is the biggest risk. Don't let it happen to you, my friends. Great stuff, Avdhesh. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, everybody. Until next time, we'll see you on the next episode. Have a great day.
Thank you for listening. If you would like to listen to more episodes or share this podcast with someone you care about, please visit www.unstoppableprofitpodcast.com. Now go out and make a difference. Be unstoppable and leave no regrets.